Hi, welcome to Noni's Crafty Kids. I'm Noni. Today I just want to do a very quick project and a very simple project, making this sort of little star. You'll recognize this mask from my other video. And I wanted a star charm to put right there in the center. So I went online looking at the other tutorials to find a little star like this. And there are several there. And it's such a simple technique. It's very similar to the clover or the cross, each of which have 4 arms. Just add another one and you get a star. There's also the starfish or the mini starfish. Let's see, Kate Schultz with Izzylicious does both a starfish and a mini starfish. That's very similar. Now, she uses the loom for making this. Similar to Jordan Teen 1 has a new patriotic star that she put up a couple of months ago. Very similar, and she also uses the loom. Now, with the cross and the clover that I've seen in different tutorials, it's just made on the hook. So I've been going a little crazy with these wonderful glow-in-the-dark and glow blue and purple bands from rainbowloom.com that you can order online. And not quite satisfied with this particular star. Let's see if I can get that in focus. Because you see, it comes up real skinny in the center, very much like a starfish, which is good. You know, that's nice. But I was thinking of more like the star on the American flag, where it's thicker in the middle. So that's what I've been working on, going from where all the arms are the same size from the point to the center, to getting them a little bit thicker in the center. And finally going to this star where I've got 5 rubber bands at the base of each of these points. And it makes I'm pleased with this. It's a nice solid star. And I've got 2 different methods to make it. One of them you just use the hook, and the other one you make it on the rainbow loom. So I'll show you how. Let's get started. Here we are. As you see, we're getting ready for Halloween as I'm making this video. And the little clucking you hear in the background is my parrot, Dumbledore. And if I get a chance, I'll try to put a shot of him on the end of this video so you can see who Dumbledore is. So there are the stars we're making, and there's one of my looms with several of the arms of the stars that I've made ahead, and they're just in a holding pattern here on the loom. One of the methods will use 1 bar of the rainbow loom, and so we'll just let that sit there till we're ready. Now, I like to call this the 5x5 star. Okay, it has 5 points, that's obvious, but each of the arms has 5 sets of rubber bands, and it moves very conveniently. 1 rubber band, 2, 3 on the 3rd set, 4 on the 4th set, 5 on the 5th set. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that gives you your 5x5 star. Now the first step is to wrap a single rubber band around your hook 5 times. 4, 5. And those bands are going to be very tight on your hook. Then you get your second group, catch them on the hook, and pull them nice and taut with one of your fingers. Then grab the first ones that you've wrapped around the hook, draw them over the top onto that band. Now, you've probably done this technique before and you know that it's pretty easy to get hung up like this, where those tight bands get caught on the hook. I'm going to show you a pretty neat trick. It makes it a lot easier. Get a piece of soda straw. Okay? You can get it fast food store or the kind you get from the supermarket, whatever. Just cut off about 1 inch of straw. Slide it onto your hook and cover the hook part. Now I'll use a different color. I'll use black, which shows up really nicely. Wrap your first rubber band around the soda straw. Okay, there's your hook. All right, now you'll get your next group of bands, 2 rubber bands, catch them on the hook, give them a nice taut tug. Now slide that soda straw over the top of your hook. Now you can just roll those bands right off the soda straw onto the next group. Release from your hook, and there you go. Let's do that again with the color we're working on for this star. All right, the soda straw, 1 band wrapped 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You just barely see that on the purple on the pink. Okay, pull it back, grab your next 2 bands, slide that soda straw up over the hook, and roll your band onto the next group. And there you go. Very simple. I'm going to hold those on my finger and then remove the soda straw, put them back on the hook. So now you have 2 of your groups on the hook. Your first group, 1 band. Second group, 2 bands. Your third group, 3 bands. Same thing. This time, you don't need the soda straw because you just grab the knot, pull it onto the next group of bands. That was 1, 2, 3 groups. So after 3, we have 4. 4 bands. On your finger, pull that tight. Grab the knot there and pull it right onto that. All right, now the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bands. All at once. Get them all together. Onto your finger, pull it taut, slide it on, and there you go. That is 1 arm of your star, and that took 15 rubber bands. Now I'm going to bring it over here and slip it onto one of the pegs on my rainbow loom. Now you don't have to use the rainbow loom peg bar. You can use a pencil or toothpicks or whatever you want, but you're just going to put it somewhere to hold it. And so that's what you do. And again, you just grab it, stretch it, so you can slip all those bands over a peg. Okay, so we have 4 arms ready. We need to do 1 more. Now you can skip ahead, or if you want, you can watch the process 1 more time. I've laid out the 5 sets or groups of bands again, 15 rubber bands in all. And I have my little section that I've cut off, a soda straw. Put that on my hook just for the first set, which is a single rubber band. Wrap it around the soda straw 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's getting really tight. 5. Grab my next set. 2 bands. Push the soda straw back. Grab those 2 rubber bands and pull them nice and tight, taut, with 1 finger. Slide the soda straw over the top of the hook and roll those 5 loops onto the second set. Release it from the hook. All right, get rid of the soda straw, put it back on the hook. I do think that's pretty nifty. And I give credit for that to my friend Olivia, who came up with that idea. All right, 2 sets on the hook. The third set is a group of 3 bands. Repeat the process. We don't need the soda straw because we can grab the first set, pull those rubber bands, slide it onto the third set. And we're looking good. Grab the fourth set of 4 bands. Catch them on the hook, pull them tight with 1 finger or 2 fingers. Okay, but you need these fingers to grab the arm or the sets. Slide them off the hook onto the next set of bands. Now you'll notice if you forget which set you're on, you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, or you can look here and you have 2 groups with 4 loops each. So you've got 4 on your hook. The last one, 5 rubber bands. Get them on your finger, catch them on the hook. Now that's going to be a little tricky, and it's not easy to pull those rubber bands. If you're a little kid or a grandma like me and your fingers aren't real strong, that can be tough, but you can do it. And draw those bands right through. Catch the second set on your hook, and there you go. That is our 5th and last set, making up the arm of the star. So I'm going to slide this onto the rainbow loom peg. Let's see, which way does that one go? Over the top. There we go. There's my 5 sets. Now we've got to loop them together somehow. Okay, now 2 rubber bands, and I'm just using 2, make it stronger. Hook that on a finger. Bring your hook down through the peg of one of the arms so that you catch all of those rubber bands, and there's 10 rubber bands in all. Okay, got them all on your hook again. Grab the 2 and draw through just like that. Put it on your next finger. I'm shaking a little bit. Put them on the next finger. Come down through the second arm. Catch the rubber band. Draw it through again. Pretty nifty, huh? Okay. Hold that on a finger. Get the third arm. drop through. Now you can skip ahead while I do the next two. All right, come back to the video. We've got all 5 arms on the double band, and one end of that double band's on the hook, the other's on my finger. So I'm going to grab those bands that are on my finger, pull it through itself as a slip knot. Now, don't let go. Pull it taut again and slide one arm through and the next arm through. That brings that rubber band straight across the middle of your star. And there it is. Nothing's going to come loose. You can zhuzh any bands that need adjusted, like this one here. Pull the ends gently, bring them straight, and there is your 5x5 star. That one is just made with the hook, and all you needed the loom for was the holding pattern. Now, second method. This one is going to be made a lot like your fishtail. Let me get my bands lined up and I'll show you how that's done. Here we go. Here we go. I've got my 5 sets of 15 bands laid out, and I also have the 2 extra for connecting them. All right, this is going to work a lot like a fishtail. You start out, wrap 1 rubber band 5 times around a peg. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There you go. That's probably the hardest part of this process. That's your first set. Second set of 2 bands. Place it over 2 pegs. With your hook, you're going to grab the ones you just wrapped and bring them up and over the second set. Now, you probably won't get all 5 in one go. That's okay. You can do it 1 band at a time or a couple at a time. There. As long as you get them all up on there. Okay, now this should be just 2 right here. Now, see, I have 1 more to go. So I'll come back and grab that one, and it's a lot tighter. And there. Now, I just have 2 bands. So I've gotten all 5 onto the pegs. All right, next group is 3. This is much easier. Put 3 bands over the top. grab the bottom set, bring it up and over. Bring the next peg up and over. That's what you get. Nice and easy. Put those 3 down. Get your next set of 4. Put them on. Bring the previous set up and over. Just like that. Now, I'll show you something. Another neat tip. Let's say you're having trouble grabbing these, and you're not sure if you've gotten all 3 over the top at once. Grab the point with your fingers and pull it. Can you see if I can get my hand out of the way? There we are. This band needs to come up and over. Okay, now we can push these down. And we're ready for our set of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring the previous set up and over. There's a band that needs to come up and over. Grab these up and over. And we've got them all. So now the last set, I like to hold on to that. Bring it over the peg. Lost one, no problem. Grab it, bring it over. And there you are. Now you can fast forward to the finishing part, or you can watch one more time. Okay, put the sets. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. Begin with 1, wrap it 5 times around the peg. I'm sorry, get my hands in between the camera and the pegs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 more. 5. Push it down. Second set of 2. Grab the first bands. Bring it up and over. This one's very tight. I might also mention, I think this design works better on the actual rainbow loom than on the monster tail loom, because you have the full pegs, and when you're working to bring these tight bands over, it helps a lot to have the full peg rather than working on the monster tail. All right, push that set of 2 down, the set of 3. This time up and over from both sides, which is much easier because they are not as tight. Now, look at that. One of these has come loose, this set of 3. No need to panic. Bring your hook through, grab right there, bring it over. Okay, no panic. Come back here, get these up and over. Now we're up to set of 4. Okay. Grab the previous set up and over from this side, up and over, pull it out, looking good. That's the way it's supposed to look. Now we got 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Down, up and over. Next side, up and over. And there's a rubber band that needs to come up. If you can hold it taut while you find it, that makes it a little easier. Now we know we've got them all. Bring these 5 over onto the first pick. And they all want to come off my hook. Slide them over. And find the one that escaped. And bring it up and over. There we go. 5 arms. Now we're ready for the 2 to connect them all, and we do it exactly the same way as we did with the other method. Bring one arm up onto your hook. Grab those 2 rubber bands. Draw them through. Okay? Let's do that again so you can see. You'll notice one of the loops slipped off. Just slip it right back on. No big deal. Hold that tight with your fingers. Slide it on, and we're in good shape. Here we go. Next arm. And you guys who like to skip ahead, go right ahead and skip ahead and come back on the finish. Go. We're on our 3rd arm, and as each arm goes on this double band, it gets tighter and tighter. Two more to go. This is one reason I really recommend using the official Rainbow Loom bands, because they really are very dependable and are not as apt to break when you're making tight designs like this. This is not a complicated design, but some of these bands do get very tight. You don't want to go through this much work only to have your connector band break at the last stage. And that's it. We've got all 5 arms on the double connector band. I'm going to slip my hook through that connector band and bring it through itself into a nice slip knot. Just like that. And I'm still going to keep tension on it, stretch it, and bring one arm through that connector band and bring a second arm through. So the connector is lying right across the middle of your star. And that's it. You've made another 5x5 star. There you go. You've made another 5x5 star. If you've enjoyed this video, please click down below, like, and you can subscribe to Noni's Crafty Kids or by my profile name, Stardark. And that way you'll get all of the new designs and the hints and the updates and improved methods as we put them online. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time. And this is Noni's very naughty bird, Dumbledore. And yes, he speaks, usually when I'm making a video, but he doesn't speak on command. Cool. See you next time.